What's going on, fellas? Today we're going to take a look at this PSAK47 built and manufactured by Palmetto State Armory right here in the good old United States of America, where the guns should be made. And this is just a first impression video. I do not have any shooting experience with this gun yet. I took it out of the box, been playing around with it a little bit, and I'm just going to give my initial thoughts after inspecting quality and features of this particular AK-47. Now, right off the bat, as you can see, this is the single most AR AK-47 you have ever seen in your entire life, and same as myself, and that's why I bought it. So, actually, this is the first AK that I've ever purchased and owned myself. I have played with friends, I have trained with them, but I have never actually owned one because I am an AR guy. And when I was thinking about it, I've owned so many guns and I've never actually bought an AK. I gotta go buy one. And I'm looking around and some of them are super expensive. You know, they're in the $2,000 something range, and then that seems to be your normal US made ones. And then I was watching some videos and stuff and I came across Palmetto State Armory's variant of guns, and these are all, for lack of a better term, budget-friendly guns. You know, they are made in America, and this is a company that has dedicated its existence to getting, quote-unquote, firearms in the hands of as many legally owned Americans as they can. So if you can own a gun, they want to get you a gun, and they're going to give great deals, and they build their own guns, and they have them at a great price tag. So this gun right here was a little bit over $1,000, right around $1,000, like $1,050 or something for this thing. And it has a substantial feature set. I've seen far more expensive guns not have this feature set. And I gotta say right off the bat, the build quality is very impressive on this particular firearm. It has a pinned and weld brake right on the end there, and this brake is actually pretty cool. It's right from the factory at PSA, and it can take silencers. I think it's the dead air silencers that can go right on it, or you could take it to a gunsmith, unpin and weld this thing, and pin your own Cutie attachment, which I'm probably going to do for OSS suppressors since I run OSS suppressors. And they usually work amazing with any gun because it doesn't increase the back pressure at all. So that's the wonderful thing about OSS suppressors, and that's why I use them. So I might do that at a later date. But it is very cool that they have a Cutie attachment for silencers right from the factory, and that the barrel is also cut to 14.7, and that's why the brake is pin and weld. So this can be a short barrel variant, but still the brake counts as part of the barrel since it's permanently affixed, and you get to have a shorter overall rifle, but still not have to do the tack stamp, which is one of the most attractive things that attracted me to this particular variant that they have. Guys, if you're looking on Palmetto State Armory's website for a PSAK47, there's 100 different options. They have every option you can imagine, from wood to totally modern like this, to different types of wood, colors of wood. It's pretty cool. And then let's move back down. We have this very modern AR looking handguard. These are simply the BCM covers, and that's just over the M-lock right here, but that comes right off. So there's M-lock all over here, there's M-lock here, here on the bottom. You know, you have all sorts of M-lock for whatever kind of accessories that you might want to add to your PSAK47, which is very cool. Then right here, they also have Cutie attachments on both sides, so that's pretty awesome. Over on this side, right here, they also have a soft swing swivel, so you could attach some paracord or a clip for on your swing. If you don't want to use the Cutie attachments, I'd probably just use the Cutie attachments if it was me. And yeah, so these are good places to put lights, optics, whatever you might want. This rail is obviously on the gas tube section. Then on the back, you'll notice, as I said, this thing wants to be an AR. We have a nice railed section of the top cover. Now, this thing has like zero play whatsoever. I don't feel any movement when I'm trying to flex it. I'm gonna completely test this thing and see if the optic holds zero. I'm gonna like take this off, snap it back on, see what happens. But my initial impressions are I don't feel like any movement whatsoever on this top cover, which is very cool. It does clip in normally, and honestly, if it's good enough, I don't need this thing to be like pinpoint accurate. Obviously, I have a CQB style, just regular red dot on this thing, so I would never use this for any sort of long range. So as long as it's like good enough, but I have a feeling that this is going to be pretty great at holding zero, just due to how tightly that it fixes up to the lower receiver of the gun. Then on the back, you can see we have the I Want to Be an AR starter kit with your regular M4 stock and buffer tube. It does not, however, collapse at all. Well, it collapses. I mean, it does not fold. There's no folding mechanism on this side or this side. It's just permanently affixed to the back here, which I don't mind because I'm not going to throw this in a backpack or anything. Then it comes with this plastic magazine here. It has a little picture of like a palm tree on it, and I don't know who makes this. But I thought it was a Magpul mag, but it doesn't come with a Magpul mag. And it just has this one. It fits up nice and tight. There's no movement or any slop or anything, so that's pretty cool. Next, we have the trigger. Actually, before we get to the trigger, I'm about to light the safety up. This safety is awesome. Like, if I can demonstrate how little force is needed to actuate this thing. Look at that. Just like the tip of my finger can actuate this. I've handled a few AKs, and a lot of times these are like pretty tight, and you have to use like 2 fingers to hit it off and like 2 fingers to make sure you get it up. But this one, like the slightest tap and up and down, it's just very smooth. This is the best AK safety I have ever used. I'm sure I have not been privileged to use other good ones. Just, I gotta say, this is an awesome, well done, smooth safety for the AK, and it's just perfect into action, perfect out of action, and you're good to go. It's not ambidextrous, but this is so good that I wouldn't complain about that at all. It's just a fantastic safety. Then let's talk about the trigger. Let's see this thing. So let's show you what's going on here. We have a silver trigger shoe. Not sure if that indicates anything special, but we have basically, it almost feels like a double action pull. It's much different than an AR trigger, obviously, and it's kind of like a continuous pull and then a really nice release. It's nice and light. Reset. Pretty short, very strong reset spring, and then that continuous pull again. It's not super crisp like a AR trigger that I'd be used to, where you have like a 2-stage or maybe like a super crisp single stage, but it feels really nice. It's so light. It's probably 3 pounds, 3.5 pounds maybe. I don't know. It's very, very nice trigger. Guess it has to getting used to with that like continuous pull, but other than that, very smooth trigger, zero grit. It's just beautiful, and I haven't even lubed this thing at all. I haven't done anything to it, just take it out of the box and been playing around with it. The mag release, super smooth. Mag seems to go in, like I said, nice and tight. Mag release is nice. It's kind of standard AK, but lever works smoothly, no problems there. It's not overly heavy or any stiff or anything like that. Honestly, I gotta say, I am pretty impressed. It does have a scope mount rail for like the side scope mount if you want to attach it directly to the lower. I'm assuming that this is more stable than putting it up here, but like I said, this feels very rigid and the tolerances seem to be pretty tight, so I'm gonna go with that for now, especially because this isn't going to be like a main go-to. I need it to be super accurate and dependable self-defense gun. This is just going to be like my for fun AK, and a gun that I can instruct with and demonstrate with to people who want to learn more about AKs and stuff like that. So this is the purpose of this gun for me, is just a demonstration and fun range toy. And I think it's going to fit that purpose to the T. But other than that, I'm just overall very impressed by the quality of the components and the fitment of the components. There's nothing shaking, there's nothing rattling. Everything fits great. It's all finished great. I like all the features of this gun, being the most AR AK ever. And if they had a baby, this is exactly what it would have come out like, given the AK action. The action itself, speaking of that, is very smooth. Feels great. Everything about this gun is just very smooth. There's no gritty feeling anywhere. I just really like the overall design, the overall feature set. The small features, you have the mag pull grip, and then you just have your standard AR stock. For $1,000, my goodness, I don't know what you're getting for the extra $1,000 to $1,500 for these other variants, but this is fantastic. I don't know how you can squeeze another $1,500 out of quality. As long as this thing doesn't like break on me, I mean, this is just, I would 100% recommend to anyone looking for an AK variant that Palmetto State Armory makes a quality product at a very competitive price. And yeah, so that's my first impressions of this gun. I'm going to take it to the range. I'll try to get some range footage. My range is kind of dark and kind of cluttered sometimes if it gets too busy, so I don't usually take videos as of late. But if I can get some range footage of this thing and do some accuracy testing, see if I can ascertain if this dot holds at least a close or exact 0 when popping on and off the top cover, and we'll see what goes on with that. Other than that, these are my first impressions of the PSAK47. Have a great day, guys. See ya. It feels great. All the controls feel great. You get the MOE grip. You got the standard AK stock. No, you don't. No, you don't.